This is the Good Governance Radio.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Let's go. This is your radio, your station.
GGR, Good Governance Radio. Good Governance Radio.
All right, good morning. This is Good Governance Radio, and this is welcoming you to today's edition of the newspaper review on Good Governance Radio. My name is Chris Bassi, and this morning I have with me in the studio.
Good morning. My name is Tony Ayodele. Welcome to another beautiful day.
All right, this morning we have about 4 newspapers here with us, and I have with me the New National Star and also the Blueprint newspaper. Tony, what do you have?
I'll be taking on Vanguard and the Sun newspaper.
Okay, charity they say begins at home. Let's take a look at what the front page of the in-house newspaper are talking about. The New National Star has on its front pages, and of course, this one says, "Seniors pay us peanut, send us on errands." That lamentations coming from junior lawyers, and this one says Abuja residents bemoan a rise in bread prices. Tony, how much are you buying bread these days?
I don't know when last I ate bread, so I wouldn't say. But I know my children, they do take it.
So you know the one buying it for them?
Because it's their mother. Because when I say take for the breakfast, but I know the bread is not very high now. The loaves of bread slice that you would do buy for 300 is now 350, and it depends on the size. So we all know that bread is now a very expensive commodity.
Commodity indeed. All right, this one says Buhari's opposition to restructuring untenable, says Afenifere Ohaneze. Orders Prophet TB Joshua's unfulfilled dreams. Widow Evelyn is new leader of Synagogue Church of All Nation. Synagogue Church of All Nation releases TB Joshua's burial program. Otelia decried a lull in business weeks after TB Joshua's demise. Uzodinma empowers 15,000 youths in Imo State with 3.8 billion naira. Tony, quickly, let's talk about this one coming from Imo State. Uzodinma empowers 15,000 youths in Imo with 3.8 billion naira. Will this actually, reduce the tension in Imo State? Does this portray that the governor is trying to get the youths involved, because it seems to be the most aggrieved set of people when it's come to all the trouble that has been happening in that particular state?
Well, at times there are times I look at the governors when they say they're empowering the youth. You ask yourself, what kind of empowerment that will sustain their livelihood? You find out that some governors will just come, give them maybe a motorcycle, and at the end of the day, they'll still go back to ban the use of motorcycles. And you find out what kind of empowerment are you empowering these people? So it now depends on the angle at which is empowering them that can sustain them. Not an empowerment that will give them 30,000 naira to go and do 1 mega this thing. At the end of the day, they cannot sustain it and cannot continue. So whether you empower them or not, it now depends on the kind of empowerment program or scheme that is bringing out. But if it's a good one and you believe that it can help them, then they can take the restiveness out of the state.
Definitely. Okay, let's take this final story on the front page of the New National Star that says how scammers are preying on job seekers in the FCT. So if you're living in the FCT, you have to be very careful right there when you are going out there in search of job, because men of the underworld, and of course scammers in general, are taking advantage of lack of jobs in the country generally to actually prey on those that are desperately looking for jobs.
we go to Daily Sun,
Okay.
and Daily Sun has is a bold headlines: restructuring not prepares for fight at National Assembly. ACF placed lawmaker on alert over expected bill. Well, I don't know what kind of fight. Is it a rough fight, according to Fela, that they are preparing to fight on the issue of restructuring. And Ogoni raises the alarm over herdsmen invasion, militarization. That is coming from the Sun newspaper. There's another one there. Protests against school fees hike in Kaduna turns bloody. One dead. Student union plans to occupy state. And Kaduna is always in the news, Chris.
Yeah, always in the news, sometimes for very wrong reason. And that protest that was supposed to be a peaceful one turned bloody, and a life was even lost yesterday. And the police have come out to say that the protest wasn't peaceful at all, and that it's 10 rioters, and that was why they actually had to come in. So we just hope that there will not be another fracas in Kaduna, because it's the state is strategic, and of course it's also a very fragile state. So we do not want to witness what happened a couple of weeks ago when the NLC occupied Kaduna, and that could that was at the verge of spreading to different parts of the country. So we just hope that the state governor, El-Rufai, and all the stakeholders will be able to manage this particular situation.
All right. Well, you are from this region. Take Niger Delta Avengers threat serious. Ijaw leaders want Buhari.
The Ijaw leaders, I hope they are not part of those leaders that visited the president and seems to had a compromise with the president, which the president or the presidency is actually falling back on. That he had a peaceful consultation, a successful consultation meeting with the leaders of the Niger Delta even before that threat came out from the Avengers. But we just hope that all the actors will definitely come to the table, because Niger Delta is strategic for Nigeria, and we do not want anything. We don't want to go back to those dark days where expatriates and oil facilities were at the mercy of the Niger Delta's Avengers, and of course the different groups of militants coming out from the Greeks.
I just believe that the elders will talk, the stakeholders in that state will talk to the youth.
To the youth.
All right. You are going for a blueprint?
Yes, I have the Blueprint newspaper here with me. Join ruling party, lose your seats, PDP tells Matawale. And of course, there has been a rider here, San NBA, ascribed differ on defection. It won't affect my APC chairmanship ambition. That's coming from Yari. Tony, what kind of threats can you describe? Is this just an empty threat coming from the opposition party, telling Matawale, I beg your pardon, that if he joins the APC, that is, he stands to lose his seat as the governor of Zamfara? So does this threat holds water in any ramification?
I can hear. When Benue State governor comes to PDP, what happened? You see, this is just politics, and politicians, they know how to use language to deceive themselves. That's what I'll use, if that word might be acceptable. Because many governors have decamped, even Ayade just decamped. So it's a matter of our politics is all about interest. And if your interest is not being accommodated in another place, you go to another party. But what is most important is interest. So for them to say, if you decamp, you are losing your seat. How many have lost their seats since the beginning of 1999?
Even in the National Assembly.
Even National Assembly. So
even the lawmakers that.
So all this statement coming from PDP or APC or APGA to me, I count it to be something not to be taken serious.
Okay, so it shows some, kind of desperation on the part of the PDP Ekiti monarch to regain freedom after 2 million ransom was paid. Zenith, GTB, 5 others among Nigeria's most valuable banks. And of course, you can get detail of that story on page 23 of the Blueprints newspaper. RMAFC to begin a review of revenue allocation formula. And of course, we did talked about this particular story that seems to be the biggest and the boldest story on the front page of the Blueprints newspaper. As Kaduna comes under tension over tuition fees hike, students killed, students were unruly, rioters that's coming from the police and now threatened to occupy Kaduna come July 12th, they meet Gumi. Tony, the part I want you to react, NAN threatens to occupy Kaduna July 12th, meets Gumi. Meets Gumi for what? Again, Gumi, is Gumi, what position does Gumi occupy in Kaduna that is so important? The bandits, he's meeting with the bandits, he's meeting with the soldier, and the students are planning to meet him as what? What position does this man occupy? What is his role in all of this?
As an Islamic leader, and I believe he's playing a dual role, trying to see how peace can be retained in Kaduna and among these bandits. And also, he believes that there must be somebody that must mediate between these people and the citizens, because if the government are trying their effort, maybe an individual too or a group of people too should also find a way to, because security is not only for the government, it's for everybody. So I believe that Gumi, in his own way, in his own capacity, maybe he's trying to see how he can relate or mediate with the situation in the country and make sure that there is peace in the country. My opinion.
Okay. Tony, of course, is entitled to his own opinion now. Let's continue with the headlines on the front page of the Blueprints newspaper. 900 million naira fraud. ICPC rejects plea again. So Ren ex-Jam boss Yorinde come July. Shipment. FJ loses 5 billion naira revenue to importers. Wrong declaration. And troop kill 12 terrorists, recover gun, trucks, arms in Borno. NSITF misappropriated 84 billion in 4 years, Senate alleges. And finally, Chieftaincy Tozu, Delta warlord's wife gang raped, house set ablaze. That story can be found on the page 5 of the Blueprints newspaper. Tony, your last paper?
All right, the last paper with me is a Vanguard, which is a bold headline. To avert third COVID-19 wave, federal government halt entry from South Africa. Oh. Another one. All right. World not ready to accommodate 240 million Nigerian migrants if UN wants. Also, no going back on civil servant sack. El-Rufai tells Buhari. Nigerian media should be self-regulated, not by government. That's IPAN president. Also, we have on the Vanguard also, Nigerian loses 30 billion annually from revenue leakages. I think they need to look at those MDAs. I think there's a time they said the MDAs are the one that they are not remitting their money back to the coffer. All right, on the last one there, CBN fight maize hoarding. It releases 50 million metric tons to 12 firms. I think that is what Ebele, Chris, Ebele still, maybe so. Well, what do you think about this hoarding of maize in our country when we are talking about why should they be hoarding this maize, the farmers?
Well, I think this is rather sad because this is the season, planting season, and of course, the farmers do need these, particular crop maize to plant and at the time where what seems to be struggling to be self-sustained in terms of food in the country. So there's no reason or whatsoever for anybody to try to hoard a particular seedling that a lot of Nigerians actually depend so much on, because maize has become a poor man food. You go on the street, you see a lot of people taking advantage of the mess season and of course try to satisfy their craving for it. But then maybe the hoarding is part of the reason why these days a small messed corn that usually goes for about 15 naira is now goes for 100 naira and all of that. So we just hope that the authority will look into that so that a lot of people can have access to plants, the maize, and it will become, a popular, it become available as it used to be in the past.
All right. I think that is all we have to take for the newspaper review tomorrow. You can send in your comment to 019-3023-6602 or join us on www.ggr.com.ng. Or you just join us on our YouTube, Good Governance Radio. We'll be right back. We'll be doing a short break. And next, we'll be talking about Speak Out.
Check your systems are offline.
This is the Good Governance Radio. GGR. Stay with us.